For many years, Burkina Faso has spent billions of francs every year importing milk from abroad. Supermarkets and markets across the country have long relied on powdered milk and dairy products shipped from outside the continent. But now, the country is taking a bold step to change that reality and strengthen its food sovereignty. 22 billion CFA francs. That is what Burkina Faso spends each year on imported milk. Powdered milk that fills the shelves of supermarkets. Powdered milk that bakeries use to make bread. Powdered milk that families mix for their children. Money that flows out of the country every single year, never to return. But on March 11th, 2026, something changed. At the Loumbila livestock breeding station, just outside the capital, Ouagadougou, a ceremony took place that would have been unthinkable a few years ago. Commander Ismaël Sombié, Burkina Faso's Minister of State and Minister of Agriculture, stood before a herd of cattle. But these were not ordinary cattle. They were 710 pregnant cows, flown in from Brazil, carrying within them the promise of a new industry. This is not just an importation. This is a declaration. The cows that arrived that day are high-performance dairy breeds: Holstein, Girolando, Guzera, Gyr, Naylor, genetic lines selected over decades for their productivity. While local breeds in Burkina Faso produce between 0.5 litre and 1.5 litres of milk per day, these Brazilian breeds can produce 15 to 40 litres. The Naylor, a beef breed, can reach 1,100 kilograms at 5 years of age. Because the cows are already pregnant, they will begin contributing to milk production relatively quickly. Based on current projections, these 710 animals could produce around 1.2 million litres of milk during 2026 alone. And if breeding programs are expanded successfully, national milk production from this initiative could triple within the next 5 years. The logic is simple. Improve the genetics of the national herd, and you improve the productivity of the entire sector. Adiouma Sirima, Director General of the Center for the Promotion of Poultry and Multiplication of High-Performance Animals, explained the economic arithmetic behind the project. Every year, Burkina Faso spends 22 billion CFA francs on milk imports. By increasing local production, the government hopes to significantly reduce these costs and keep more economic value within the country. But this project did not happen overnight. It was the result of careful planning and international cooperation. In June 2025, the Center for the Promotion of Poultry and Multiplication of High-Performance Animals began negotiations with the Daniel Franco Institute in Brazil, an organization known for its expertise in animal selection and sustainable breeding. Brazil was chosen not only for its advanced livestock technology, but also for its similar climatic conditions. Animals from Brazil, officials reasoned, would adapt better to the Sahel than those from colder climates. The Brazilian government supported the initiative, seeing it as the beginning of a broader partnership between the two countries. The cows traveled through the port of Lomé in Togo, a crucial gateway for landlocked Burkina Faso, demonstrating the importance of regional cooperation in making such projects possible. Minister Sombié made clear that this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, he said during the handover ceremony. We will carefully follow the progress of this program. Other phases will likely come later, so that we can further strengthen the livestock sector and make it a true engine of development for our country. The minister emphasized 2 major objectives. The first is genetic improvement. By introducing high-performance breeds, the country can gradually increase the productivity of local cattle through breeding programs. The second is to supply raw milk to Faso Kosam, a state-owned dairy processing company created in December 2024 to organize the collection, processing, and distribution of local milk. Faso Kosam, with its processing unit in Ouagadougou's Sissine neighborhood, currently has a capacity of 500 liters per day, but plans are already underway to expand. New units are planned for Fada and Gourma with 3,000 liters per day, Bobo Dioulasso with 300 liters per day, as well as Koubri and Dori. The goal set by Prime Minister Rimtalba Jean Emmanuel Ouedraogo is to satisfy at least half of Burkina Faso's dairy consumption needs within 5 years. The scale of the challenge is enormous. Currently, Only 2% of the national milk production is collected and processed. The rest is consumed locally or lost. But the government's ambition matches the scale of the challenge. Kiswensida Nur Alayat Ouagadougou, president of the Interprofessional Association of Milk Producers, spoke with a confidence that bordered on defiance at the handover ceremony. "Producing milk is not rocket science," he said. "I know that with this small potential of milk, in 1 month, we will exceed those 4 million litres per year. We are committed. We will prove that our sovereignty will not come from anyone else. It will come from ourselves." Minister Sombié echoed this determination. Addressing the producers who would receive the animals, he said, "I commit you in the name of the Comrade President to take all necessary measures to ensure that this operation is a success. There is no other choice. This operation must be a success. The broader strategy extends beyond milk. The government has also created Faso Abattoir, a public agency tasked with centralizing and professionalizing the management of national slaughterhouses. In January 2026, construction began on a new slaughterhouse in Banfora at a cost of nearly $5 million. The ambition is to position Burkina Faso as an exporter of livestock meat. Livestock farming has long been central to Burkina Faso's rural economy. The national herd numbers nearly 71 million animals, including poultry, sheep, goats, and cattle. Millions of Burkinabe depend on livestock for income, nutrition, and economic stability. By investing in improved breeds and modern management practices, the government hopes to unlock new opportunities for farmers across the country. The arrival of these 710 cows is not an isolated event. It is part of a broader vision for agricultural transformation that has been taking shape over the past year. It follows the creation of Faso Kosam and Faso Abattoir, the construction of new processing facilities, and now the importation of high-performance genetics. This is sovereignty not as a slogan, but as a strategy. Sovereignty measured in litres of milk produced, in jobs created, in money kept within the national economy. Sovereignty built 1 cow at a time. Of course, challenges remain. The animals must adapt to their new environment. Producers must learn new management techniques. Processing capacity must expand to handle increased production. Markets must be developed for new products. But for the first time, there is a clear roadmap. When those 710 cows stepped onto Burkinabe soil at Loumbila, they carried more than milk in their veins. They carried a message. A message that Burkina Faso is no longer content to be a consumer of what others produce. A message that food sovereignty is not an abstract ideal, but a concrete goal. A message that the Sahel can feed itself. The road ahead is long. The challenges are real. But as Minister Sombié said, there is no other choice. This operation must be a success. And if it is, those 710 cows may be remembered as the beginning of something much larger. 22 billion francs spent on imports every year. The government has decided that money belongs in Burkina Faso. And with 710 cows from Brazil, they have begun to bring it home. 22 billion CFA francs every single year. That is what Burkina Faso spent on milk it could have produced itself. Money that left the country and never came back. Now, 710 cows from Brazil have arrived in Ouagadougou. They are pregnant. They are high performance. And they are the beginning of something much larger. But here is the question that matters. Will this work? Will the genetics adapt? Will the farmers learn? Will the processors keep up? Will the money finally stay home? The government says there is no other choice. The producers say they are committed. The minister says this operation must be a success. We will be watching. We will be documenting. And we will be asking the questions that need to be asked. If you believe that food sovereignty is not just a slogan but a strategy, if you believe that African nations can feed themselves, then hit the like button right now. It tells YouTube that this story matters. Comment below. Where are you watching from? Ouagadougou, Accra, Nairobi, Lagos, London, New York. Let us see the full map of this community and share this video. Send it to someone who needs to understand that the Sahel is not waiting for permission to build its future. They are building it. 1 cow, 1 litre, 1 farm at a time. Subscribe to Voice of Africa. We document the building of African power, not in speeches, in milk, in meat, in the soil and the herd and the market. The cows are here, the work begins, and we are watching.